So in this video, I am going to cover proportions and how do we solve proportions using cross product and use proportion to solve application problems. Okay, so first of all, the property is called cross product. If A over B equals to C over D, then we can just cross multiply. We will get AD equals to BC. So, first example, how can I apply this? This actually is very useful. We have a 20 over 6 and then x over 9. To solve x, we can just cross multiply. So when you cross it, I have a 20 times 9 equals to 6 times x, which is 6x. So 118 equals to 6x. So divided by 6 on both sides. I have 30 equals to x. Okay, now we can apply it to solve a more complicated fractions, such as x plus 3 over 4 equals to 2/5. Now, you want to calculate the cross product. So 5 times x plus 3 equals to 4 times 2. Now, we simplify. I have 5x plus 15 equals to 8. Then we can just solve for x. Minus 15 on both sides. I have a 5x equals to -7. Then we can divide it by 5 on both sides. So x is equal to -7 over 5. Okay, now next one. What if we see the variable in the denominator? Such as 4 over x equals to 6 over 3x plus 2. Alright, so calculate the cross product. We can cross multiply first. I have a 4 times 3x plus 2 equals to 6x. Now, we distribute 4 inside the parentheses. I have 12x plus 8 equals to 6x. We can solve s by subtracting 6x on both sides. So I have 6x plus 8 equals to 0. We can subtract 8 on both sides. I have 6x equals to -8. Now divide both sides by 6. So x is equal to -8 over 6. Simplify it, which is 4/3. So our solution is x is equal to -4/3. Now, you might notice that this is very useful, even though you're solving a fraction with all variables. Okay, excuse me. Now we continue to use the cross product. So we have 5 times 2x minus 3 equals 2 times 7x plus 7. And here, we distribute the 5 inside, have a 10x minus 15, 14x plus 8. Now, merge the like terms. I want to merge 14 to this side and 15 on the other side. So I have 24x equals to 15 plus 8, which is 23. You're subtracting 14 x on both sides, so you should get -4x. Now, I just need to subtract -4 on both sides. So I solve for x equals to 23 over 4. Okay, so now let's try to use some apply this into an application problem. Let's say, so in here, a 6-foot man casts a shadow that is 3.5 feet long. If the shadow of a flagpole is 8 feet long, how tall is the flagpole? So in this question, we need to know what is the proportion here. Is the object over the shadow. They should be the same. So we have two objects. One is a man over his shadow should equals to the flagpole, the object, and over the flagpole's shadow. So here is our setup for this proportion. And we just need to fill in what we know. So we know that the man is 6 foot tall and his shadow is 3.5 feet long. And for the flagpole is, we don't know. If something that we don't know, we will put an X. And the shadow of the flagpole is 8. So here is the proportion. We just need to cross product to multiply it. So I have 48 equals to 3.5x, and then divided by 3.5, I will solve the length or the height of the flagpole. Okay, now let's take a look. Here's the next questions. In a basketball team, a home team was down by 9 points at the end of the game. They only scored 6 points for every 7 points that visit team score. What was the final score of the game? So in this one, since they ask you what was the final score of the game, we don't know. If we don't know, we need to set this up as X. We don't know the home team score, and we don't know, or we don't know the visiting score. So we can let the visiting scored equals to X. We need to set up the equation first, and then they also tell you that, hey, the home team, I should say final score, sorry. And we know that the home team, what did they tell you? The home team was down by 9 at the end of the game. So that means the final score, or by the end of the game, the home team is 9 points less than the visit team. So since the visit team is X, so that means the home team is going to be X minus 9, because it's 9 points less than the visit team. And we know that for every game, the home team scores 6 points for every 7 points that the visit team score. So that means the proportion, the home team, they always have the same proportion through the whole game. So it's always the home team versus the visit team. Whenever they score 6, the visit team scores 7. And then at the final, the home team is X minus 9, the visit team is 6. So here is the setup proportion that we got. Use the cross product. I have 7x minus 9 equals to 6x. Now, next one is I distribute the 7x inside the parentheses and try to solve for x. I subtract 6x on both sides. So I have x minus 16.3 equals to 0. By solving it, I have x equals to 16.3. So this one, the most important thing is, how do you set up the equation? You need to read through the questions and see what do they asking. What they're asking is usually when we set that equals to x. So, and we need to look at the relationship between the home team score and the visit team score, which is down by 9, so should be subtracting by 9 from the visit team. Or you can also set up the equation like, hey, I want to set the home team is x, So in that case, the visiting is always, not always, at the end of the game is 9 points higher. So it's going to be x plus 9. Depends how you set up the equation. Yeah, so here is some application for proportions. I want to try another examples, such as, hey, Kelsey's commute 15 minutes longer than Christina. If Christina drives 12 minutes for every 70 minutes that Kelsey drives, how long is each commute? So we don't know how long is each commute, so we can say either Christina's commute is X minute or Kelsey's commute is X minute. In this case, I will say Christina's commute X minute. So since Kelsey commute is 50 minutes longer than Christina, so Kelsey's commute time should be Christina's time plus 15. So now let's look at proportion. For every Christina's drive 12 minutes, Kelsey will drive 70 minutes. So the proportion is always the Christina over Kelsey, or the other way around. That works. So for every 12-minute drives, Kelsey drives 70 minutes. And then the total commute time would be, if Christina drives X, Kelsey is going to be X plus 15. So here's the setup proportion. Use cross multiply product. I have 17x equals to 12x plus 12 times 15. I shouldn't skip that. Let me show you more step. I multiply by 15. And then I can distribute the 12 inside the parentheses. Then I have 17x equals to 12x plus equals to 180. Alright, and then I can subtract 12x on both sides. I have 5x equals to 180. Now we can divide it by 5 on both sides. So x is equals to 36. So that means this is the Christina commute time. We still need to calculate the Kelsey commute time. So that means Christina's commute 36 minutes every day, and Kelsey, she is 15 minutes longer, so that means it's going to be 36 plus 15, so which is 15:1. So that means Kelsey commutes 15:1 minute. Oh. Okay, so that's it for the proportions videos. Let me know if you have any questions.